Soil is like a kitchen for plants. Think about it. Just like we make food in our kitchens, plants use raw materials in the soil to make their own food. Now, what do we need to cook food in the kitchen? Raw materials like rice, vegetables, spices, and salt, right? And once we are done using all that, what do? We head to the grocery store, refill the supplies, and we are good to go. But what about plants? What happens if the soil runs out of its nutrients and becomes an unhealthy soil? Just like us, plants need a refill too. That's where fertilizers and manures come into play. They are like the grocery restock for plants, giving the soil back the nutrients it needs to stay healthy and fertile. Let's take a closer look at how fertilizers and manure help plants thrive. Healthy soil is like a well-stocked kitchen. It's rich in nutrients and vitamins. But imagine this. If we keep growing plants on the same land over and over again, the soil starts to lose its nutrients. Quite natural, right? It's like emptying the kitchen without restocking it. Now, can plants go to the grocery and restock it? No. That's where farmers step in and grab a fertilizer. Okay, now what are fertilizers? Think of them as raw materials the plants need to make their food. They are loaded with essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, commonly called NPK, where N stands for nitrogen, P stands for phosphorus, and K stands for potassium. You get fertilizers in all forms. You might have heard or you see in the market some names like urea, ammonium phosphate, superphosphate, and potassium chloride. These are some of the names of the fertilizers that are available in the market. We're not going in detail to what is the content or how they are going to act exactly in the soil, but remember this, they provide the nutrients nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Using fertilizer is a bit like an energy booster to the soil. The right amount works wonders, turning the soil into a powerhouse of nutrient. That's exactly what we want. But here is the thing. Too much of fertilizer isn't great. Overusing fertilizers is just like eating too much junk food. It may feel good in the beginning, but over time, it's going to weaken the plants and harm the soil and water around them. That's why when adding fertilizer to the soil, balance is so important. When farmers use the right amount of fertilizers, they kind of hit the sweet spot, giving the plants everything they need to thrive without causing any problem to the environment and the plants. Let's dive into manure and humus. They are super important for healthy soil. Manure is like nature's way of recycling. It's made from decomposed plant and animal waste. You might have seen a pit at home or a farmhouse, like the one you see here, where all the vegetable scraps, animal waste, leaves, other organic waste are dumped. And that's the starting point of manure. Farmers create manure by piling up this waste in a pit and letting it decompose over time. Now you may ask, what do you mean by decompose over time? Decompose over time means that microorganisms, the tiny little helpers in the soil, break down all this waste, turning it into a nutrient-rich soil. How cool is that? Manure does some amazing things for the soil. It adds humus to the soil. We'll talk about humus in just a moment. Yeah, it helps the soil hold more water, which means plants have water available whenever they need. It makes the soil nice and loose, which means roots can easily spread out and grow stronger. It boosts the number of helpful microorganisms in the soil. These tiny organisms are super important because they make it easier for plants to grow and thrive. Manure is like a natural power-up for the soil, making it healthier and better for the plants. Next, we'll talk about humus, the ultimate soil booster. Yes, let's talk about humus. I like to call it super soil. As you see in this picture, humus forms the top layer of the soil. It's that dark, squishy stuff created when manure or plants and animals break down completely. You can think of humus as the final stage of manure. The ultimate upgrade to soil health is what I would say. Here is why humus is very important. It is a paradise for creatures like earthworms and microorganisms. These little tiny helpers keep the soil in top shape and super fertile. It makes the soil crumbly, which is perfect for the roots to spread out and grow. It holds on to water, keeping plants hydrated for a long period. It is packed with nutrients that plants need to grow strong and healthy. Now, you might have noticed that humus and manure sound pretty similar. And you're right, manure is about 90% humus. Think of humus as a secret ingredient that makes soil a powerhouse for the plants to thrive. It's like a soil's hidden magic